into In the Bonus podcast, the Big East women's basketball show, here to bring you everything that's happening around the conference. Big East is absolutely just cruising through play. We're going to recap last week's action, everything that happened. UConn still cruising at this point. We have a very special interview with Providence head coach Erin Batth, and then we're going to take a look ahead at the week to come in Big East sports. Alongside Kim Adams and Isis Young, I'm Lisa Carlin. Ladies, welcome in. February is here. I know you have all been so busy with it. Ice, how are you?
I'm good. Hi, friends. Good to see you guys. It's Monday, so I'll say happy Monday because that's normally my thing. Normally, we need a little extra love on Monday. I'm great. I had a game last weekend. I was at FSU. So it was Miami at FSU, ACC. So I played in the ACC. So I always love going back. So I got to see some coaches that I know, familiar faces. And my mom came with me. So we had a nice trip. We did so much shopping. I think we made it to 7 boutiques. 7 different boutiques we went to. I probably tried on like 100 different things. And had to buy an extra bag to check because I bought so much stuff that required an extra bag. I know.
Who's the shopping instigator? Your mom or you?
Oh, definitely me. Definitely me. But it's like, I'm just like, I can find something anywhere. Like, I'm just like, anywhere you can get something cute or something that you can work. And my mom is always like, oh yeah, I can see it with this. And then when she does that, then I'm getting it. Yeah. And she knows me. Like, I'm a bucket hat girl. I wear bucket hats on my day off. And so we walked into a boutique. She saw a bucket hat. I literally bought it that second and then put it on and shopped with it in the store to get the rest of my stuff.
Amazing.
But it was good. It was good trips. It's always cool when you spend time, so it was nice. It was a good time.
We'll have to get you a Big East in the bonus bucket hat. That way you can rock it, promote the show. Merch.
Yes.
Merch here.
Well, we'll send that message to Scott.
I saw the picture you posted with her. You guys are like twins.
Yeah.
Mom's looking good.
Thank you. She got called my sister several times and wanted me to make sure I told my dad about it. So I thought it was hilarious.
I absolutely love that. All right, Kim, we got to see you. Primetime Hoops on Fox. We got a big timer on the show this week. How was it?
It was pretty crazy. I know Ice had a similar game a couple weeks ago. Iowa on the road, sold out environment. But yeah, this was Iowa at Maryland. The game ended up being phenomenal. I think a lot of people came into it because Maryland's been a bit down this year compared to years in the past. They've lost a couple in a row. Some different injuries going on, but Maryland absolutely brought it. It was a sold out crowd of about 18,000 fans. Iowa ended up prevailing. But just so cool to be in these atmospheres. Again, just seeing just how much the women's game is growing. Honestly, the fan base that Iowa has is insane. And I will say that the arena was very heavily Maryland, but the Iowa fans really come out. They're all in the hotels. They're walking around town. I will say the one downside of this increased popularity is logistically for us broadcasters, we have to change our whole schedules. I was running really late for the game because I was caught in the traffic. I had never been to Maryland before. To get to the arena is one way, one road in, a single line. And I guess I needed to leave 30 minutes earlier because it's literally a 1 mile drive that took me 25 minutes. I had to heatedly speak with state troopers who weren't letting me go down the road where I needed to park. It was crazy. I'm texting my producer, I'm getting there as soon as I can. I'm literally not moving right now. So it was very hectic. It was very hectic. So pro tip, if you're doing a Caitlin Clark Iowa game, you need to leave 30 minutes ahead of schedule or just not leave the arena after shoot around because it is insane.
That's a mess.
It's mania. It is mania wherever she goes. I've now had them for 2 away games and it's the same. Yeah, it's a scene. It's wild, but it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it is.
What'd you tell the state trooper? Did you just tell him I'm Kim Adams, I'm important, you need to let me through?
She wasn't listening to me initially to the point where I had to put the car in park and step out of the car to explain I need to go straight, miss. She said I couldn't go straight because I was in a turning lane. I had veered to the left because I was trying to get around the line of people waiting to get into the parking lot on the right.
Right.
So she was pointing her flashlight at me saying, "You're in a left lane. You can only go this way." To literally put the car in park, stepped out, tried to remain calm, but also being like, "I'm on network television in 1 hour. Like, I need to get back there. Like, my producer's mad at me already. Like, oh man, it wasn't great. Logistics were not great."
Gosh.
Well, we're glad
that's
you
crazy.
ultimately made it. That's like terrifying. And like
Yes.
not the way you want to have your mindset going into a really big
No.
game at all.
No, like for the first time, I had to like step in the venue and just take several deep breaths because I was like worked up and stressed.
I'm sure. I mean, you're yelling at like a state trooper on the side of the road.
Goodness.
If people don't believe me, it was hilarious. One of my college teammates who lives in that area sent me a text being like, "I just saw it go down with the lady."
Oh, that's absolutely hilarious. National games for you. Yeah, that's a really good insight into some of the hoops you have to jump through as a broadcaster.
It's like,
yeah,
people think it's glamorous, whatever. No, it's not.
No,
it is not.
It's not always glamorous. No, and especially not when you're trying to just get to the game and do your job. Well, let's dive into Big East specific talk. Of course, we're missing Meg Caffrey this week, our steady host, but we know she is busy out there and she'll be back with us. Diving into Big East hoops, UConn just absolutely continues to dominate, 11-0 in conference play. They just beat St. John's, and now the Huskies, they maintain that number 11 spot in the AP poll. They dominate the Big East weekly honors too, the third time this season. They've swept freshman guard KK Arnold. She wins her 5th Big East Freshman of the Week, and senior forward Aaliyah Edwards, she is the Big East Player of the Week. Edwards, she led the conference in both scoring and rebounding last week, including the career high 33 points and season high 13 rebounds Sunday in UConn's win versus St. John's. And that was her 10th Big East double-double of the season. Holy cow. She's continuously on fire. Meanwhile, Creighton, they're back up 1 point to 21st, and Marquette, they continue to receive votes in this national poll. So, Isis, I got to ask you, what do Big East teams in the middle of the pack, right? Those are the top 3, the heavy hitters in the conference. But all the teams in the middle, what do they need to do to separate themselves as we head into February?
Yeah, I mean, as we're looking at it right now, we've got UConn, right? That's 11-0. Creighton, that's 9-2. Those two have separated themselves, like you said. But then it's St. John's, that's in 3rd. They're 8-4. Nova is 7-4, and then Marquette is 6-5. And so I think if you're keeping an eye on those two teams, one, a credit to St. John's, man. I think the way that they have competed and hooped and won games down the stretch, like the leadership from Unique Drake, Jillian Archer. I've been really impressed with Coach Tarmella's group, and I don't know if we thought they were going to win this many games at this point. We're in February now, and they've got a good slate to finish, and so I've been impressed with them. But in terms of looking at Villanova and Marquette that are 4-5, it's two very different stories of how conference play could finish. Villanova has a tough stretch to finish conference play, guys. They still have left to play UConn, Creighton, Providence, Georgetown, and Marquette.
Oh, uphill battle.
And so it's a tough stretch. Oh, goodness. It's a tough stretch for them. And so I think for them, it's, hey, you got to take it game by game, but also can you steal a couple of those? Can you get a win versus a ranked team? Can you maybe knock Creighton off? That could go a very long way for them. Or can you get both Creighton and Marquette? And then on the other side, we talk about Marquette. I, on the hand, think Marquette could finish the Big East 7-0. They have. Wow. And no one tweet me for this. I'm just saying that I think Marquette needs to finish strong. Okay, I'm sorry if I thought they're beating your team, but this is how I feel right now. Marquette has left Georgetown, Villanova, DePaul, Seton Hall, Xavier, St. John's, and Butler. If they can finish, guys, 6-1, 5-2, I think it's going to be really, really good for them in terms of what Kim is going to talk about next in terms of their NCAA resume. But I think right now is the time for Marquette to become that senior team that we've seen and really put it all together and make it consistent. I did not expect them to be at this position 6-5 in the Big East. I thought they would have taken care of a couple of more games, but we're getting to the round 2 of some of those matchups. Yeah. And so here in round 2 in February, they have to finish strong. They have the chance to really finish and solidify this, being 3rd in the Big East and creating that separation if they get those wins. Kim, I know you're going to talk about, AP poll and national things. So give me your take on, Marquette, and just can they come out 6-1, 5-2? What will that do for their resume?
Yeah, well, I was going to say, looking at the NCAA tournament right now, UConn's clearly a lock. Creighton is clearly a lock. I think Marquette is in pretty solid standing. Like, I think the wheels would kind of have to fall off for them to fall off the track of the NCAA tournament. But I remember talking to Megan Duffy at some point earlier this season, and she started talking about, we're thinking about seeding as well, because I believe last year for sure, maybe even the year before that, excuse me, they were in the 8-9 game. So even if you get a great win, you're like walking right into South Carolina or somebody like that, especially with the new format now of the host sites for the top 16 teams. So sorry, guys, too much talking this weekend at State Troopers. But if you're an 8-9 seed, like once you move on, you're playing a number 1 seed on their home floor. So right. I think they're, you don't want the players to think too much about this day to day, but I think Megan Duffy is probably thinking, we want to finish out this season as strong as we can. We want to have a really solid Big East tournament. Maybe we get to the championship. Maybe we pull the upset. Not saying that UConn's going to be in the championship, but since they've been in the Big East, they've won it every year since they've been back in the Big East. So I think that's why this end of the season is important for them. Hopefully solidifying a spot in the tournament and then trying to get some more optimal seeding than they've had in the past. So I would say those 3 teams are looking pretty good. There's a discussion now. Can a 4th Big East team get in? We're looking at the net rankings. I think the team with the best opportunity to sneak in as a 4th team in is Villanova. Currently a number 44 in the net. Although St. John's is 3rd in the standings, they are 85 in the net, just based on different non-conference scheduling and all of that sort of stuff. So Villanova, you talked about the hard road ahead, but Ice, on the other side of that, it does lead to some great opportunities that would really boost their resume. So you have 2 ranked opponents in UConn and Creighton. You have a Marquette who's just outside of the rankings. The only downside is they have to go on the road to all 3 of those schools. Marquette coming up this weekend. But I think if you're Villanova, you're saying, hey, we've been playing pretty well. They just had the loss to UConn, but I had them in that DePaul game. They looked really good game against Seton Hall. So their offense is really coming together. But I think if they can, maybe take down – they've already beaten Marquette. Let's not forget. They beat Marquette at home.
Yeah.
I think if they could either take down Marquette or Creighton on the road, again, beating UConn on the road, very hard to do that. I think that would really help boost their resume. And then, like you said, they have to win the other games. Like, no offense to our beloved Coach Providence, like they have to beat Providence and Butler if they want to be playing in the dance. So I do think 3 are going to be in. Potentially Villanova. In terms of the net rankings, Seton Hall is the next team. They're 63rd, so they would really have to do some work, I think, to get in. But I'm really hoping the Big East can find a way to get 4 teams in.
Yeah. Definitely likely for that all to happen. It's absolutely bonkers that the tournament is coming up before we know it. Big East play, it all ends Sunday, March 3rd before the Big East tournament at Mohegan Sun, and Selection Sunday for the big dance on March 17th. Plenty of opportunities for some of these teams to sneak in. One of those teams in the middle of the pack, sitting 6th right now in the Big East, is the Providence Friars. They're 11-12 on the season, 5-5 in conference right now. And we had the pleasure to sit down with head coach of the Providence Friars, Erin Batth. Hey everyone, welcome back to In the Bonus. We are so pleased and honored now to be joined by Providence head coach Erin Batth in her first season with the Friars. Coach Batth, welcome in.
Well, ladies, I miss you.
Oh,
I'm
We
telling you,
missed
lots,
you.
lots been going on, y'all. We got to talk.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm so happy I'm on Blessed. Thank you for having me.
Oh, we are so pleased and excited to chat with you. You're such a bright light, so thank you. First season, just over halfway done. What are your thoughts on your first year at the helm with Providence and the first half of the season?
I have all the feels. I'm telling you, it's been a journey. It's been so good. Okay. And so there's been some ups and downs, and I'm telling you, we're doing this together, but overall, I am beyond blessed. These women have allowed me to come in and breathe a little fire, honey, and cook for them and all kinds of good stuff. And we're taking it one game at a time. And there's so many lessons that we're learning, but it's been great. I'm overwhelmed too, in a good way. I mean, we're doing some things and I want to win, and I want to do it right now. I'm so impatient, y'all. I mean, I want my food hot and fast. Come on now. I need it right now. Okay. But for the most part, Lisa, it's been great. It's been so great. A lot of support. Providence is amazing. I've hit the jackpot. I really
Coach,
have.
when you were just
I mean, Coach.
Coach, I was
Oh,
gonna say when you were saying that you
No, you're
remind me
good.
of the girl in the Willy Wonka, like the original, when she sings the song, like "I want it now," like that's.
right now. Gets to step in right now. And then, but the bad part, little lady
Oh yeah,
she got dismissed.
we
So
can't have you
I'm gonna
go
slow
down.
my roll. God said slow down. Yes, I'm gonna slow down. But you're right, honey. I love, and these young ladies don't even know who Willy Wonka really is. We're gonna talk about
Um,
that.
So,
They're
Coach, you
young.
come into the Big East at just an interesting time. Us three ladies have covered it the last couple of years. And it's just so interesting this season with kind of so many teams kind of right in the middle, beating each other one week or the next. So, just what are your early impressions of this league?
Let me tell y'all, you better stay awake. Don't you sleep on the Big East, honey. You don't know who is coming. They come around the corner. They behind the bushes. You better watch your back. This conference is no joke. I wish I was losing weight, but I am not. I'm a stressful eater, but it's awesome. Like you cannot, there's so many good players, so many great coaches. Even the facilities in which we all play in, they're beautiful, like so much history. And so, I'm just overwhelmed. But I know we've got to work. Every game you got to work. You got to scout. You better watch your film. You got to get with your players and make sure everybody stays humble because you never know. You never know who's about to beat your behind. So you better be ready.
Coach, you talk about winning, and you've won some very important games in Big East so far. I mean, you had an overtime win versus Villanova. You started off 2-0. You beat a good team in Seton Hall that we know is as dangerous as anyone in the Big East. And then you had that without Grace Afosa for most of that time. And then you got her back, and then she drops 30. I mean, what has that roller coaster been like of, grinding out these games with the team that you had, getting her back, and then now she's kind of, been in stride and been in rhythm?
No, it's been great. I think it's really cool to see different women step up and do different things for us. Woman down, woman up. We've had injuries, all teams do, but it's really awesome to find something positive out of that, and that is empowering everyone else on the team who's stepping up. What's going on? But the really awesome part is Grace didn't skip a beat. That girl came in; she was still in shape, honey. If this big girl right here was out for a while, this big girl, give me about 2 more weeks, honey. I got to learn. I got to run. But she didn't skip a step. She was focused. She'd been watching film, working out. So just to have her come in and not even like literally come right in and play some significant minutes, starting again, and has been a real blessing. But it's those wins that we had. I mean, these women, I have to give them all the credit because I mean, I'm hard on them in a good way. I mean, they know I love them, but you have to remind it's what you say to people too. Now there's X's and O's and you've got to train, but you can't forget your brain, honey, and your heart when you coach. And so I'm really trying to target those things as well as, work ethic, aggression and whatever. So winning those games were significant for sure. And I'm just so proud of them. So proud of them.
Grace Afosa injured, and then of course coming back, and she earns Big East Player of the Week last week. So that honor so well deserved for her. As a first-year head coach, I mean, you talked about getting into the Big East. No, you cannot sleep on the Big East. We know that all too well here in the bonus. But you have to lay down your foundation as a coach, and the motto that you want to set, and the mindset that you want these players to have. How have you seen that growth throughout the season in terms of the foundation you want to lay at Providence?
Oh yeah, I've seen it with our close games. We've had some where we were down, and then we came back and have been victorious. And sometimes we come back and it wasn't quite enough. But to see them grow, that's who I am. That's who Erin Batth is. We're not stopping. Oh no, baby. We're not going to stop to the very end. And we're going to give us, give y'all the very best all the time. And so that's the foundation, really. Are you respectful? Are you really giving everything you have? Have you studied your craft? Are you putting in the time? And so it's really cool to see those close games that we've won, see them be victorious for us to get a win. So I think that's really huge. Again, just seeing women step up. That's a true testament to people haven't given up. They haven't given up on me. Again, I'm a new coach and it could be totally different. I'm a different style coach than my predecessor, nothing to take away from him at all. But I'm just different and new. And so things could go this way or that way. Really, they really could have. These women could have been like, this woman is crazy. Like, what she say? What do you do? But no. So the foundation's being laid down, but you have to remind. It's like coaching, parenting. These are my babies, so I got to remind them, honey. Look both ways before you cross the street. You're gonna get your head knocked. Hello, you're gonna get your head. Like repetitive, right? Remind them over and over again who we are and what we're trying to do. So it was just it's just really cool to see them to win. Yes, to be rewarded for some of that. So
Coach,
cool.
Just to touch on your personal professional journey to this point, this is your first head coaching position. I believe it's 17 years as an assistant coach at various schools, different levels of schools. I'm just wondering kind of how did you remain patient through all of this? Because I think I've said it on your games before. I'm like, I can't believe a school didn't snatch her up before. Like, she's such an amazing person, and we're already seeing your success. And maybe it was a personal choice that you didn't want that at a certain time. But I think it's something that can resonate for so many people in different walks of life. Like, how did you stay patient and just trusting the timing of what's transpired now?
Yeah, thank you for asking that. I'll tell you, it was hard because I wasn't always patient. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't always patient. Sometimes I was like, come on, I want it right now. You already told you I want my food hot and fast and ready. Come on. But, I play a lot into my faith. Wasn't the right time. God said no. It was, I don't want to lie. Like, I had opportunities. I've tried, and it wasn't for me. And so when that happens, and that's whoever's listening, you can't stop. You can't get discouraged. You got to keep going. If it's something you really want to do, there's always going to be uphill climb, right? But the best way to get to the mountain is if there are some edges, right? So you can hold on to, right? Or you slip right off, right? So I've had my climbs, and it's been, I don't know. I have my mom. She helps me a lot. She's been right there with me. Didn't know a lot about basketball. She only yelled two things when I played: watch it back and get it back. And that's it. That's all she knows. I mean, ham sandwich. I'm like, Mom, we're winning. Get it back. We're winning. So, love her. But and I have a daughter, single mom for a very long time. It had to be right for her as well. Bless her. I love her. She's moved quite a bit for me. And so timing was everything. But when I tell you what, when I came on my visit to Providence and I got my interview with Steve Napolillo, let's go, baby. Let's go. First of all, I knew I wasn't going to be alone because I'm a people person. I don't want to do things alone, really. I knew I was going to make a mistake. I knew I needed support. This place checks all the boxes for me. So I don't know. That's a great question, Kim. And I think about it and I pray about it because I've had tears. It's a hard journey for any of us who want to do anything, right? But you've got to remember who you are, who made you, the foundation you've built, what you've been taught. You got to grind it out. But I will tell you that I got to say this. It's important. When every time I've gotten better, I've always helped somebody. You've got to help somebody along the way. And that, my dear, is the reason why I've known so many wonderful people. I make sure that I help somebody along the way. And I'm here now. And I can't be more thankful. So I don't know. It's a great question. I appreciate you even asking about me. But yeah, it's been awesome.
So much good stuff in the answer.
Coach, I feel like, I was going to say, I feel like we could just, you need to go into life coaching. Yeah, you need to go in life coaching. Like, come on.
I'm playing around because when I send you my business cards, I know.
Listen, I need a free consultation. Just one. But no, I want to ask you, you talk about helping people. I want to ask you about National Girls, Women in Sports Day. The podcast will air on this day. We've got pink games coming up left and right. Kim and I have one on Wednesday together. So excited to talk about outfits with you, Kim, because I feel like we can like collaborate on some stuff, but we'll talk later. But I want to ask you, Coach, like in terms of helping people, getting girls in sport, the initiatives that maybe your team is doing, Providence as a whole, and just what you've seen from the women's basketball landscape. I think this is always such an important month in women's basketball, just to highlight so many different things.
Oh yeah, no, it's huge. We definitely obviously are having our games. We just had ours against Marquette, and we had a great crowd, great showing. A lot of different teams were out there, so that was a lot of fun. But yeah, no, I can't express enough. I mean, the reason I'm doing what I'm doing is because somebody helped me out, and somebody believed in me. And being one of the few Black females, young females in Cobb County, growing up in the 80s, it was really cool to have someone say, you can do this. And let me tell you why, and being one of the tallest too in Cobb County now, honey, I made the team because I was tall, y'all. We'll talk about it. I was not good. No. So that was a blessing in itself too. But no, it's such a special month. I mean, with Black History Month and then breast cancer awareness, I mean, it's jam packed. But you must get out and support someone, and whether it be a female or a male. Obviously, we're focused on girls right now, but you've got to, and that's what we do here. That's why I'm making sure our players. We've already done more community service hours than they've done in years, and I think that's important. That's a part of my foundation, like we talked about, Lisa. So I think that's huge. But again, and I just want to speak on the cancer awareness. It hits home. My mom had breast cancer and my sister. And as you talk about Coach Whitecoff, bless her, as well. Being Tasha Tough, this is a real thing. And we're so lucky to be able to help cheer people on and empower people and rejoice. Come on now, we got to have joy too. There's survivors out there. Thank God. Right?
Yeah.
So it's a good month.
Yeah.
All the feels. God gave us ability to feel, right? We can cry, we can laugh. We're going to do it all, but you must, and this is what I would say, again, get out there and help. But these games are so special, and I'm so excited for you three ladies to be able to do this. And I'm just, again, just blessed to be able to be a part of that too.
Wow, that is so well said and articulated. Thank you for kind of giving us that insight and letting us know, because we get to watch. We are part of Girls and Women in Sport, the three of us, and Meg as well. But it's really cool to hear your perspective and the pink game. I know it means a lot to all of us. So thanks for sharing that. Okay, Coach, we have a special game for you. We play it with all of our interviewees. And this one might be a little bit of a different rendition, but Kim, take it away for In the Bonus.
Yeah, so this is our In the Bonus rapid fire. Olivia's already done it. She was one of our guests. But basically, to be in the bonus, it's 5 fouls. We have 5 questions for you.
Okay.
You can answer. It's not like it has to be one word or super quick, however you want to answer it. All right. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right. The answer to this could be Raising Cane's. We're going to see. But number 1, your favorite place to eat in Providence.
Oh my gosh. There's so many. Harry's, because Harry's, I like cheeseburgers and they're so good.
Ooh, yum.
Never heard of Harry's out there.
Yeah. Harry's is good. I like cheeseburgers.
Yum.
Do you put bacon on it or any toppings?
Kind of whisper, yes, bacon and everything. It's terrible. Oh, it's so good. And they use they use potato buns. Crap.
Ooh,
I'm telling you, it's awful. They're like little ones. They give you of course I get 3. So to make one.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, yeah.
Wow. Gonna have to add that to our list next time we're there.
It's good.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Good food math. Yes.
Really
Okay. Good. Question 2. We know you were a big time player. You're now going to be a big time head coach. But what is a skill or talent outside of the basketball realm that you have?
Y'all, I can cook.
Ooh.
I can cook.
Ooh.
Yes, ladies. I got to say it again. Come on over. I'm telling you. I'll be throwing it down.
What's your favorite dish to cook?
Well, it's more like a meal. So that partakes in collard greens, baked mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, barbecue chicken on the side.
The real Southern.
Candy jams. I'm from the ATL. So
Candied,
yes.
yes.
So yes,
Wow.
honey, a meal. Put you right to sleep.
Yum, my mouth is watering.
Don't tell my
Book us in
dietitian.
for Thanksgiving at Coach Bath's next year, or just
It's
any
over.
meal. We can make Thanksgiving meal any meal. That sounds delicious. All right, question number 3. Some content that you're currently consuming, whether it's a book, a podcast, a show, anything else, if you have the time for it during the season.
Okay, what do I watch? Okay, I always go to Grey's Anatomy when I need something, like something where there's people being saved. Yeah. And then this is crazy, but I started Game of Thrones again because I like destruction. So like before a game, I'm like, give me one of those war movies. So yeah, is that awful or what? That's what I'm doing.
There's like
I literally watch one of those shows.
Balance.
Extremes. It's like, let's save
Right?
people or
Not
let's
so
destroy people. I mean, it's no gray area.
No. Yeah, I know.
Funny.
I haven't watched. Well, I've watched some Grey's Anatomy. I never got into Game of Thrones. I don't know about you, Ice and Lisa.
Yeah, it's Game of Thrones is very complex, but it's good.
Yeah, I've never seen Game of Thrones.
I've never gotten
I've
it.
seen.
Yeah, you got to fast forward through some
I've
things,
seen
but it's good.
pretty much all 20-something seasons of Grey's Anatomy, so I get it.
No.
Same. I've rewatched. Yeah, same.
Bad. It's bad. I gotta do better. I stopped cooking. My daughter's like, get out. Derek's dead. Oh, spoiler. Don't watch it.
Spoiler alert.
Edit it out. Edit that part out.
I lost my mind that day. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, number 4, and this might be cooking as well, and I know you don't have a lot of this, especially this time of the year, but favorite thing or things to do when Erin Batth has some downtime?
Ooh, I don't have some downtime. Oh, ladies, I love going to the movies. When I had my daughter, I was pregnant, I would go by myself, honey. I'd have popcorn and more popcorn and just get on down, on back. So I know it's true, Kim, is bad. I would probably go to the movies. I love going to the movies. Literally, I will go. So
I like
that downtime, my daughter will tell you she's probably at the movies. And I movie hop. I'm a criminal. It's bad. 2 in 1. I know. Nice, not a word. Are we live?
Out a few parts of this, Coach Bath. We can do that.
It's awful. I know.
Yeah, I heard expert, not the other one. I heard expert.
I know.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you're a movie expert.
You're rating
Movie expert. Exactly.
I'm working.
Exactly. You're a critic.
And it sounds like they're getting their funds through the popcorn that you're
Yes,
getting.
I'm
so
there support. I open the door. I hold the door for people.
They should be paying you to come there.
I think so.
NIL deal with Regal Showcase or whatever they're called.
Oh, look.
Come on.
Let's go.
All right, last one. This is the one that's a little tweaked for you because normally we ask players who would their teammates be for a 3-on-3 competition. So we're going to say Coach Erin Batth was just named the head coach of the U.S. Olympic team. They are saying you can pick 3 staff members to join your staff. Who would the 3 coaches be that you are going to take to win this Olympic gold medal with you?
Y'all, I have a staff right now. I'm gonna hurt their feelings.
No, I was actually.
I was gonna say, come on, Kim, you gotta add context.
Yeah. You more than any other coach I've covered is always praising your staff. So we're gonna rule them out. We're gonna say the committee said, sorry, you need to pick people that are not on your current staff. We know you would bring them if you had the chance.
Okay.
You can get anybody.
3 assistants or 3 staff.
3 assistants. Oh my goodness. Dawn Staley. Gotta have Dawn. Gotta have me some Dawn.
Yeah, I gotta have
That's
Dawn.
a good one.
Yes, the only Dawn I see is my dish soap, honey. I need the real Dawn. Y'all laughing for real.
With all that cooking.
Let me see here. 2 more, right? Oh, 2 more. Oh, it's so hard.
It is. We should have given you advance notice on this one. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna say this is tough, Kim. Yeah, I'm excited.
We don't want to stress you like.
I'm stressed out.
She's enough to worry about.
Right. At least we know Dawn is for sure.
Dawn for sure.
She's a lot.
Might be all you need. Dawn is really good. Y'all,
No. I'm Geno.
Oh, that's good.
Geno.
Come on, Geno.
Okay.
Don and Geno, we come on. We'll get some wine at the end.
That's an all-star team right there, and that's only
Yes,
two.
honey. I would drive him crazy though. He'd be like, "Why are you still talking, Geno? Where you at?" Let's see here.
Oh my goodness.
And my third one.
I love it.
Oh man. Oh man. Y'all, there's so many.
I know.
Anybody? Gosh, I know, and I feel like I'm taking up the time on the show.
We can edit out the pauses. Donnie can do that.
We can?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're good. We got time.
Okay, keep talking. Let me think. Can I think?
Yeah, you think
Dawn.
about it.
You want me to throw out some options? I'm gonna
Ooh,
say
yeah.
throw out some options.
Well, okay, yeah.
Or I'll give you conferences for options. We got Pac-12 somebody. There's a coach in the Pac-12 I love.
Okay, tell me.
I love Corey Close. I think Coach Close
her.
also fits like your inspirational
great.
vibes. Yeah, she could also manage Geno and Dawn just in case, feel like she could do the peer mediation, in case we decide we're not, switching ball screens that day.
You could hire
That's a problem.
Ice. She's got really good insight.
Ice, I like
I'm
that.
GMing the team.
Okay, I'm gonna go sideways a little bit. You ready?
Okay.
I like Steve Kerr.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's a good one.
So maybe he can balance all of us out because I'm gonna be a hot, wild woman.
And
Steven might be able to slow me down. Steven? So I don't know.
I think he has Olympic coaching experience too, right? So yeah, he knows the inner work.
I thought you were gonna say he has experience putting out fires. Yeah, I think they'll have good management.
Yes, that's probably right because y'all know I'm dragging.
All right, so Olympics head coach Erin Batth, assisted by Dawn Staley, Geno Auriemma, and Steve Kerr. Give them the gold medal.
Listen, y'all so great because y'all know it's gonna be flipped. I'm gonna be their assistant.
No.
What he said? What did she say? Steve, what do you think?
All right, Coach, you have completed in the bonus rapid fire.
Right.
Congratulations.
Love y'all.
That was
Thank
fantastic. Coach, thank you so much for joining us. I mean, it was great to hear from you. Guys, you can all catch Coach Batth and the Providence Friars on the road this week. Wednesday, February 7th, they take on DePaul in Chicago. Tip-off at 8 o'clock Eastern. Then they travel to D.C. to play Georgetown Saturday, February 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Coach Batth, good luck with the rest of the season. Good luck this week. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We love you, Coach.
Bye, y'all.
Welcome back to In the Bonus. What an interview with Coach Batth out of Providence. I feel as though I could run through a brick wall while laughing for her. I mean,
that woman is like the greatest. Just like,
yeah,
I had my college playing experience. I had two head coaches. I don't want to take shots at anyone here, but I didn't feel like they cared about me as a person.
Yeah.
Like, I would sign up in a heartbeat to play for Erin Batth. I mean, she's the greatest.
Yeah, I totally understand. I think that's an honest sentiment, Kim, that a lot of coaches don't have that, right? Like, I get it to some extent. All right, ladies, let's take a look at the week ahead because we have a lot of really good matchups that are to come. One of those that has been circled on my calendar for a while, UConn against South Carolina. So UConn, this episode comes out Wednesday. They are hosting Seton Hall, 7 o'clock tonight. Then the Huskies will travel to Columbia, South Carolina for a 2 p.m. Sunday kickoff against number 1, 21-0.
This is the soccer podcast. We're not kicking off here. We're jumping it up.
Jumping in. Tip off. There we go.
Oh, did you say tip off or kickoff?
I said tip off.
Did you say tip off?
I think I did.
No, I think you said kickoff.
Oh my God, did I? Oh my gosh,
I low-key think
it
was kickoff too.
Wow.
It's okay. No,
sorry,
keep
guys.
it. You should keep it.
Because I do soccer all day, every day. Okay. Whatever. South Carolina, so UConn will be traveling to Columbia, South Carolina for a 2 p.m. Sunday tip-off against number 1, 21-0 South Carolina side that is just absolutely rolling. And we saw just a few weeks ago to close out January, UConn hosted Notre Dame. The Huskies picked up their first loss in 13 games, falling 67-82 to the Fighting Irish. So, Kim, what is head coach Geno Auriemma hoping to learn when his team plays South Carolina?
Yeah, I think this is really just a huge test of response, knowing that I think I'll put the word out there. They kind of failed at their home opportunity against a Notre Dame team at home. I think, if they could run that back, they would do a lot of things differently. I think this is a real like mental toughness moment. Like, how do we want the rest of this season to go? Because that fourth quarter of the Notre Dame game was not pretty. So this is obviously a huge test. I mean, even if UConn came out and played their best game, is it enough talent to take down South Carolina? I don't know. They're just that good. They're that dominant. But you sure as heck want to go in there and give it your best shot and maybe hope that South Carolina is a little off that day. But I mean, I would say this South Carolina team might be better than the team we saw last year, 2 years ago. Camila Cardoso, I think it's 6'7" on the interior. Aaliyah Edwards going to have a big time battle with her. And then they've added more outside shooting than they've had in the past, specifically from Tahina Pau, the Oregon transfer. Like South Carolina, you used to be able to really pack it in with them and be like, we dare you to beat us from the outside. You can't do that with them anymore. So I think it's a big mental test for UConn, for Paige and Aaliyah leading the way, like the conversations they're having with their team. Like, we did not like how that felt on our home floor at Notre Dame. Let's make sure we don't feel that way this Sunday. Even if, again, you leave it all out there and you lose by 4, at least you can walk away feeling like we gave it all we had. So that's what I'm really looking for from the Huskies.
Yeah, I agree with those, Kim, completely. For me, Lisa, it's their defense. I think this is a game in which you can see, has their defense improved since the Notre Dame game? Have they fixed some of those holes? I think for me, watching that game back and Hannah Hidalgo dropped 30 plus, right? I just remember seeing pick and roll action where she was just coming off of a screen and getting to the basket. There wasn't like anyone stopping her. There wasn't any kind of, anyone in her grill making her feel uncomfortable. She just had her way. And so I think if you're looking at South Carolina, you got Pau, you have Raven Johnson, you got Malaysia Fuwiley that comes off the bench, which if you haven't seen Malaysia Fuwiley play, you have to. It is literally like Showtime TV. I mean, she's like taking steps with a no look to a layup. And it's like, whoa, like I'm not seeing anybody do that in basketball right now besides like maybe Kyrie Irving on his best day. But they've got guards that can get downhill. And so for me, it's can UConn play team defense? Can they limit penetration? And then they're going to have to get on the boards. You mentioned like Camila Cardoso. Honestly, Kim, I think Aaliyah Edwards can be very physical with her and win that matchup. I don't think Cardoso likes to be met with physicality. I saw that, when they played LSU a week ago, right? And Angel Reese was going at it. I thought Angel Reese got the better of Cardoso, besides the fact that she fouled out. And so I just would say for UConn, I think it's about their defense, them playing as a team defensively, and then just being physical. Like, go in there and be the aggressor. Don't treat them like they're the number one team. If you respect them too much, they'll beat you by 30.
Yeah, that's a great point. I love that. You can watch that matchup, UConn against South Carolina, Sunday, 2:00. But before that, I mean, that's the only Big East team playing on Sunday. There's Saturday games, Friday games, of course, Wednesday as well. Ice, where can we watch you this week?
Well, Kim and I have a game together on Wednesday. So as soon as this comes out, if you want to pop on FS1, we'll be on there. We've got Georgetown at Marquette. Oh, I'm excited about this. I feel like defense. I'm excited to see what Georgetown will look like. I also think, keep in mind too, like it's an emotional month for Georgetown, right? Like we're honoring Coach Tasha Butts, his breast cancer awareness. That is a pink game. And so you got to think about sports and why we love sports so much, because the emotion plays a toll as well. And so I expect Georgetown to be fired up on the road. But I'm excited about that one, Kim. Kim will be the analyst. I'll be on sideline. And we're working with Lisa Byington. So I'm really excited. I think that's a female forward game as well. Kim, what are your thoughts on, what Georgetown needs to bring?
Yeah, well, I was just going to add that it's the female forward game, which is a really cool initiative that the Big East does. It's my second year working on this game. Obviously, we'll be honoring Tasha Butts as she would have been the female coach. So there will be a lot of honoring for her, and with Breast Cancer Awareness Month as well. But this is a game where I believe they'll have all female officials. We'll have an all female truck. Every single camera operator will be a female. Everyone working on the game will be a female. So we
That's
love
so
that.
cool.
It was amazing last year. Like you just don't see stuff like that. Like how often have you ladies had a female camera, someone holding the camera that's a female in front of you? Like
Never. I actually never have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I've been a part of one game at Syracuse that was an all female crew, and Scott Hecht was also instrumental in putting that together. So I think we got to give Scott his flowers that he's had that influence with Fox and that we're doing this, and hopefully every other network and conference, continue to push these forward. I think we're seeing more of these across the landscape, and I think it just goes right along with like pushing women in sports, right? That you don't have to be on camera. Sometimes you could be the camera, or you could be the audio or the tech or the producer. So I'm pretty excited about that.
And then the game itself will be great. As we mentioned, the importance for Marquette closing out the season strong, but we know Georgetown is one of the best defensive teams really in the country, not just the conference. They just beat DePaul in a game in the 40s. DePaul, likes to play games in the 80s and 90s. They held DePaul to, I think it was 40 points. They won that game. So that Georgetown is really going to try to slow the pace down and really just lock up defensively against a Marquette team that likes to fly up and down in transition. So the game itself will be really good too.
That game, Georgetown Marquette, the cream to an Oreo triple header on Wednesday night, tipping off at 9:00 from Milwaukee, FS1. You can watch Ice and Kim in that female forward game. Really excited and happy for you guys. Turn you on my TV and watch you. That's it for our episode. Final thoughts, Kim? Are you getting your pink ready to wear on Wednesday?
Yeah, I didn't know it was the pink game until Ice texted me. I knew it was the female forward game, but I actually have a couple pink items now.
Good.
Last year, I did not. Like, I had to go out and buy a shirt the day before, but I have more pink in the rotation. I have 2 other games this week, so now I need to make sure if those are also pink games. But it's like extra special for me this year. I lost my mom to cancer just a couple months ago. It wasn't breast cancer, but it's she was ovarian cancer, which I believe is in September is the awareness month. So I probably will never get to work a game that specifically honors that cause, but it's extra special for me this year, just in terms of honoring cancer awareness and cancer victims. So it'll be a little extra meaningful for me this season to be a part of these games.
I'm sure it will. Thanks for sharing that with us, Kim. Really appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, Ice, final thoughts from you before we wrap up?
Final thoughts. My new favorite number is 51. Can you guess why?
Oh, Juju.
Did you guys see the clip of the little girl with her jersey on?
Yes.
And the bun? Oh my gosh. I was like, she's got to keep that forever. But on a serious note, though, I just think women's basketball is the best thing in the world. And if you're not watching, you're not tuned in, I don't know how your life is going, because you're missing out. You're missing out on happiness.
You for sure are missing out.
Like, not to always compare it. Like, I don't think it should always be compared to men's basketball, but the stars in women's college basketball right now are unlike anything we've seen. Like, they are they're like, if a player like Caitlin or Juju are playing, like you have to tune in. You just have to.
Yeah. Their personalities, what they're doing on the court, everything, the whole package is entertaining to watch. And they're always going to perform. All right. That'll do it for us on In the Bonus. Be sure to subscribe to In the Bonus by the Big East Conference on your preferred podcast listening platforms such as iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify, Deezer, TuneIn, Radio Public, Pandora, Overcast, Odyssey, Samsung Podcast, Pocket Cast, Player FM, Simplecast, and Apple Podcasts, as well as the Big East Conference YouTube page. Make sure to like, share, and review. You can also visit bigeast.com for more conference news and information. For Kim, Ice, and I'm Lisa, we'll see you next week for another episode of In the Bonus.
Such a pro, Lisa. That was great. That was a good read.